Hello, I'm Father Charles Everson, Communications Director with the Society of Catholic Priests, and we continue with our interview series with the Reverend Daniel Moore. Say hi, Father Daniel.
Hello.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Daniel Moore. I am a priest serving at St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Been there for just over a year. I previously served parishes in Naples, Florida, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, originally from Virginia. I'm married to my wife, Kristen. We have 4 young kids, and I'm a relatively new inquirer with the Society of Catholic Priests, pursuing induction, and have been involved for about a year.
Wonderful. Where did you go to school?
For seminary, went to Duke Divinity School in Durham.
So, what drew you to the Society of Catholic Priests?
So, invitation from the convener of the Holy Cross chapter in the Philadelphia area, Father Paul Adler. I met Father Paul at a convention last year, and we got to know each other and started sharing a little bit about just the way that we envisioned being Catholic priests within the Anglican tradition, and so he saw fit to invite me.
What does it mean to you to be an Anglo-Catholic?
I guess what I should say is that coming from Virginia, I sort of have a history as I guess a low churchman, and not being a cradle Episcopalian, but actually somewhat of a Baptist and an erstwhile Presbyterian, and sort of I guess an ecclesial mutt, if you like. My entrance into the Episcopal Church also has had its own evolution, even as an Episcopalian. So going from being more low church evangelical to creeping up the candle, I'd say for me, my sense of Catholic identity as an Episcopal priest is really rooted within the belief in the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. That we're not just playing games, that it's symbolic, but reality is symbolic, and that's not to diminish the power. I mean, I'm really just sort of regurgitating Schmemann here, Alexander Schmemann, right? That the power of the Eucharist is that it shows us that Christ is really present with us, and that everything else flows from that. And so that's really where my Catholic identity is rooted.
What misconceptions about Anglo-Catholicism that we're all aware of could you address, or that maybe things that you had as a preconceived notion about our society or about Anglo-Catholics that have been dispelled since you've been here?
Sure. The caricature of the stern, cisgendered white male priest as the Anglo-Catholic priest is really a misconception. I think that's one thing that's really refreshing about the Society of Catholic Priests is that it's a diverse group, and we are not just a group of white cisgendered male priests. I think that it's a really warm group of people. I think that's something too. There's sometimes a caricature of Anglo-Catholics as somehow severe, maybe, as priests, and I think I've been delighted to be among a group of very, very warm and welcoming priests here at SCP.
So we've been at this conference for a day and a half now, or almost 2 days. What have you taken, a few tidbits from the conference? What have you liked the most? What have you learned?
I think what I've loved about it is the what I should say is that sometimes I was talking to my wife about this last night. One thing about conferences that can be a challenge is that sometimes they are lecture heavy, and even if they're really intellectually edifying. They can kind of be exhausting. I think that what's been wonderful about this conference is just the wonderful balance between plenary and fellowship and worship. And really, I mean, I've loved all of it so far, but I think it's really just been the chance to worship all the time together that is really what's been so life-giving about the conference for me.
If a seminarian or a fellow priest or deacon were to ask you, why should I join the Society of Catholic Priests, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them that, I guess I'd say, in response to the question, why be a Catholic priest? I guess just to modify it a little bit, I'd say, well, what other kind of priest is there? Right? I mean, obviously, of course, ecclesial divisions notwithstanding, but we're inheritors of the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church, and so to be anti-Catholic is to be anti-Christian, and I think that it's not. I think one thing that was mentioned at one chapter meeting that we had not too long ago was that SCP isn't exclusively for the high churchman or woman, as it were, but that it's really prayer book spirituality, and for the priests who are prayer book minded. And so if you're kind of locating your piety as a priest within the prayer book, then you will find a good home in the SCP. And so that's how I think I would try to persuade someone who may be hesitant to affiliate because they wouldn't consider themselves high church, but they're all about the prayer book. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Father.
Thank you.